In our journey through the Hidden Chronicles, we've decoded key terms that reshaped our understanding of prehistoric reality. Today, we dive deeper into the linguistic roots that hold the secrets of our ancient past. Let's continue the exploration.
For thousands of years before written history, in these early societies, women were the primary organizers of agriculture, botanical science, and community structure. This era eventually ended with the Great Overthrow, a 1,000-year macro-historical transition. Localized matriarchal systems, rooted in the specific needs of their terrain, were systematically dismantled and replaced by centralized, global patriarchal structures. The new ruling powers undertook a massive campaign of historical revision. Physical evidence of female reverence and societal leadership was deliberately scrubbed from traditional monuments and official records. This leaves modern historians with a profound methodological problem. How do we reconstruct a societal reality that subsequent empires actively attempted to overwrite? The most enduring evidence survives outside the physical ruins. It is embedded entirely within the semantic roots of ancient dialects, specifically the ancient Al-Aribah or Afroasiatic language family. Ayshah Alhashr's research text, Femininity of the Heavens and the Earth, provides the etymological framework for decoding this linguistic archaeology. By examining the original etymological roots of three foundational terms for female and woman, we can uncover the exact concepts these early societies associated with them. Patriarchal structures had the power to rewrite laws and destroy statues, but they were forced to communicate using a vocabulary that had already been engineered to revere the female as the absolute anchor of human survival. In modern Arabic, the word untha translates strictly to the biological identifier female, but this contemporary definition masks its ancient environmental context. The word untha is inextricably tied to the ancient linguistic root anith. To the ancient Arabs, anith specifically described fertile, highly productive, and gentle land that yielded crops easily, creating a direct contrast with barren or arid terrain. The language operated on a reciprocal logic. They categorized the life-giving earth as a feminine entity, and conversely, named the human female after the fertile land itself. This terminology reflects a specific sociological reality. The prehistoric female was revered as the earthly avatar of the great sky goddess, possessing localized physical powers over the environment. She held exclusive, critical knowledge of botany, including the complex methods required to extract medicinal cures from wild plants. She managed the hardest agricultural tasks, harvesting the seasonal crops, raising the young livestock, and tanning hides for protection. Antha operates as an active title of ecological supremacy. The land was feminine because the female was the absolute master of its yield. The word Mara, or Imara, is the standard term for a woman, with slight pronunciation shifts depending on grammatical placement. Translating Mara merely as woman fails to capture its massive conceptual breadth in ancient dialects. The word derives directly from the foundational concept of Marua. Marua is a comprehensive term for psychological and ethical discipline. It represents the ultimate combination of honor, integrity, courage, and adherence to the most noble of human customs. This semantic link between woman and supreme virtue was not an isolated linguistic anomaly. It was a widespread paradigm across the entire Afroasiatic language family.
Looking at this record of ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, we find the word Marut, which translates directly to beloved woman. This Coptic manuscript shows the continuation of the root as Maruti. It survives even today in modern Egyptian vernacular as Marati, meaning my wife. This carved stone from Yemen displays the ancient Sabaean language. Here we find the exact same linguistic root, mr, indicating deep regional entrenchment of the concept. Because Baruth Aun-R signifies nobility, and Marut denotes a beloved woman across these ancient dialects, it is likely the concept traveled west, potentially anchoring the name Merit in European contexts. The linguistic history of Mara proves that prehistoric society did not view woman as a subordinate role. She was the literal benchmark for human integrity and moral courage across the ancient East. The final term is nisa, the plural Arabic word for women. Its origin stems from a primal human realization. Females exclusively possess the biological mechanics to conceive and give birth. The etymological root of nisa is the word nisi, which translates fundamentally to the concept of delay. The biological logic here is extremely precise. A delay in the menstrual cycle is the earliest, most critical physiological indicator of pregnancy. This highly localized biological observation triggered a massive semantic expansion in the language. The concept of delay became synonymous with increase and growth. The term was applied to everyday tasks. The verb nasa was used when diluting milk with water to increase its total volume. People were even referred to using this root when they began gaining physical weight. Over centuries, this concept of female biological delay scaled up to govern entirely separate societal concepts, specifically the measurement and manipulation of time. This gave rise to the complex term an-nasi, which represented the formal, societal postponement or delay of events. In practice, ancient Arabs utilized an-nasi to formally delay the sacred months. If they needed to extend timelines, they would push the period where fighting was prohibited from the month of Muharram to the month of Safar. This illuminated manuscript shows where this semantic evolution was ultimately codified. The Holy Quran explicitly references an-nasi as a formal mechanism of time manipulation. The physical realities of the female body were so central to early human survival that they provided the literal linguistic framework by which ancient societies measured, described, and manipulated time and growth. Following the Great Overthrow, millennia of patriarchal history attempted to erase the female's original standing as the supreme societal anchor. But the linguistic excavation reveals a different reality. Antha confirms her mastery of the earth. Mara establishes her as the architect of honor, and Nisa proves her biology was the literal metric for human expansion. This exposes the core vulnerability of historical erasure. Conquerors can topple statues, rewrite laws, and alter records, but they cannot easily overwrite the subconscious source code of a civilization's daily spoken language. Every time these basic words were spoken throughout the centuries of patriarchal rule, the speakers were inadvertently utilizing the exact vocabulary of female reference. By decoding the hidden chronicles of the ancient Al-Aribah dialects, we are translating a recovered map of a society where the female was the absolute center of the human cosmos.